Today's a very exciting day. I won an auction. I decided that I needed some attachments. I've been moving a lot of dirt around. I wanted a vibrating compactor just to help compress the dirt. I've been doing it with my treads, which has been working pretty great, but just to be sure, I want to also use a vibrating compactor. So I was watching these in Sacramento. I saw a few items up there that matched the same ones that I was looking for down here, and I kind of got an idea of what their prices were going to go for. I figured there'd probably be a little more premium for them being in LA. I got a good feeling for what they should go for. I looked for a number of things that were on there, and they had a number of attachments I was looking for, like a hydraulic compactor, a brush cutter, some rototillers, a trencher, a sweeper, the vibrating compactor. And the thing is, all of those, the other stuff ended the time-wise before the vibrating compactor. And I figured if I was gonna go out there for the vibrating compactor, I might as well get these other attachments. So I had to commit. I decided, okay, we're gonna get the vibrating compactor, so that means that I'm gonna get these other attachments. I got a couple of those. I got a brush cutter, 2 rototillers, because when I bid on one, I didn't think I won it and it disappeared. So I got 2 of them. And a brush sweeper. Everything else went too high for what I thought it should go for. And since I'm not in a big need for it, I can probably just keep watching auction sites and see when it comes up. When it got to the vibrating compactor coming up, there was 2 of them. One of them went for $1,900, and the other one, it kept climbing and climbing and climbing. And I know it should end up for around $2,000 based on, my research. I was like, okay, well, I'll pay a little premium because I'm going out there already. What is that worth? I figure, your day is worth a few $100s in time, just for you to go do it, especially since I'm taking off a day at work so I can go out there and get it. So, I expect to pay, a little more, but it got to $4,500 before I stopped bidding. That's just too much for something I see that sells all the time for $2,000 for that same thing all over the place. So I was a little bummed out about that. I happened to find on Craigslist another auction not too far from that site. They had 1 roller. So I bid on that one. They also had a trencher that I was bidding on and a jackhammer attachment. I don't really need that right away, but it does come in handy when you're doing foundations and stuff and you're trying to get through rock. It's really helpful. So anyhow, that went too high, so it wasn't worth my while, but I did win the compactor, and it was for $2,050. Now, one thing I'll say, this auction site stuff is new for me. They kind of expect people to know what they're doing. I don't, clearly. This is my first time. So they charge a buyer's premium. I was figuring a few percent, but Richie Brothers charged 10%. This place charged 15%, and just those add up, so just be aware of those. The other thing they are not clear about that's not on their website is the pickup and how you handle that. They say kind of some loose things about it, but they aren't clear if there's a forklift on site, so I called both places, and the first one Richie Brothers told me, well, it's first come, first serve. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? They're basically like, well, there's gonna be a big line for it, and you're just going to have to wait. It may not be available, so hopefully it is. And the other auction site basically said the same thing. It's first come, first serve. Hopefully that's not a big deal. And, it's probably going to be an hour and a half away to the first auction site, so hopefully we can make good time. It's the middle of the day. It's 11:40 in Los Angeles. We're near Christmas time, so hopefully the roads will be a little lighter. So let's go.
So I just wanted to touch on the payment options real quick, and normally you have about 72 hours after the auction closes to make a payment. Most of these places don't take cash, they only take wire transfers or credit card payments. Just keep in mind they normally charge a 3 to 4% fee just to process it via credit card. And luckily I've got a bank account where I can wire money same day online with no fees, so that wasn't a big deal for me. But I could see how that would be a big hassle if you didn't have easy access to do that. And stay tuned towards the end of the video where I'll go over all of my expenses and what I paid for these items. Excited to be here? Woo! So there's this guy, then me.
Are you excited?
I am.
You don't seem very excited.
Woohoo! Yeah! Doing this.
Is that better?
Because that's what we're getting right there. And here's bow turns, general attachment, fit skid steer. Is that a good thing?
Gonna be compacting today. That's how that works, alright? Let me see your best compactor impression.
I'm compacted already.
Ew.
Merry Christmas, right?
That's what you wanted for Christmas.
I wanted a puppy.
That's better than a puppy.
Seems like you do this a lot.
Almost like I know what I'm doing, huh?
Yeah.
Is that good, or you want to move it in the middle?
Do you have to fit something else on the other side?
Something else on it.
Yeah.
Probably fine.
Okay. Yes, have a nice day. We got
Thank
another
you.
sale in February, so you can get another one. Then you can have your own.
Woo!
So to break it down, I won the auction at $2,005. There was a 15% buyer's premium for $300.75, and then a local tax for $178.70, for a grand total of $2,484.45. We got it tied down. We're going to the next spot. One auction house down, one more to go. The directions on the Richie Brother website were not great as far as arrival and check-in. I think they just assume everyone has done this before, so I'll share my experience. When you first arrive, you need to check in with the head office. At this site, it is pretty far from the equipment yard, with no access for large trucks and no parking close by, which was a bit frustrating. Once you get into the main office, they verify your item lots are paid for, and they give you a couple of papers to hand in to the guard at the yard. Unlike the last place though, you proceed right up to the guard shack and they inspect your paperwork and let you in. That's when they directed us to the forklift line, since we obviously didn't bring one. Once again, we waited in line, but this was only about 30 minutes. When it was our turn, the forklift operator pulled up, I gave him the paperwork, and he directed us to follow him to a loading spot.
That's a little close on this side.
Exciting.
That one has ends on it.
So this is an American company. I tried to buy as many attachments as I could from an American company.
Now that I have hindsight on my side, I found out later that this was a Chinese brand that someone rebranded as Wolverine. They have a website, email address, and what appears to be a fake address in the US. You can not get parts for this, and no one has ever responded to me from this company.
I can't wait to see the litter of puppies that you have gotten me for Christmas with all these nice new attachments that you got yourself.
I'm screwed.
Or maybe a basket of kittens. I'd like that. No guinea pigs. I don't do guinea pigs.
So just to break this down, I paid $1,600 for the 72-inch broom, $1,200 for the brush cutter, $750 for the first rototiller, $850 for the second rototiller, and $850 for the rock bucket. On top of that, I had $525 in auction fees and another $447.58 in taxes, for a grand total of $6,222.58 that I spent at Richie Brothers. Something that was a surprise to me is that they offer insurance just in case the item is stolen between the time you pay for it and the time you pick it up. This is really fishy to me, and I can't believe they can get away with this. Imagine if you pre-ordered something from a store and when you went to pick it up they said it was stolen, but yet you still have to pay for it and you don't get anything. I'm not sure a lot of retail businesses would be around if that's the way they operated. Call me old school, but I believe if you pay for something that's out of business, it's their responsibility to keep it safe until you pick it up.
You don't want the free rocks?
Don't come off. They will.
That one might not.
All right, we did it relatively easy, although it is Thursday at 4:30, and we're gonna cross Los Angeles. Yay! The loader was really excellent, and I think we got everything. Room for maybe one more attachment. So we're good. We're gonna head back. Hopefully this will all be good. Everything has at least 2 straps on it. Some of them have 3 or 4. We do have metal chain in come-alongs, but I actually prefer the straps because they don't do damage to the equipment like chain would. If we do need to stop and put chains on, we will. But if not, I think this is not going anywhere, so we should be good. Let's go.
After you're loaded, you then proceed back to the guard shack, and this took about another 45 minutes of waiting in line before we were able to leave. This is where they double check that you got the right items and that you didn't steal anything, which according to them is a real problem. If you guys have any helpful information that you think I should include on my next auction video, please let me know down in the comments below. Please consider subscribing so you don't miss my upcoming videos where I take all these attachments out for a spin. And always, thanks again for watching.
Take two. Today.
All right, Bobby, I want you to stand next to it with the thumbs up. No? Hey, Martin.
So I'm totally guessing right now. Let me guess real quick. You're sitting next to Bobby. He's driving trailer full of crap.